It's 2025 and everybody knows what Pokemon is. But 30 years ago, it was just a new Japanese anime manga that had trading cards to go with it. Yes, I said manga. There was comics, and I can't talk about them because they're not meant for kids, but it was gruesome. This is Pokemon Red and Blue for the Game Boy, Game Boy Pocket, and Game Boy Color. Now I'm saying Red and Blue because these games were released together and are almost identical. There was a green version released in Japan along with Blue and Red, but I was never officially released in America or translated. If you know the games well enough, you could absolutely play it. This is one of the focusing on the American releases. So it starts off with Professor Oak introducing you to the concept, but I have many questions. I live right next to Oak and his lab, and it's safe to say that I have for years because there's nothing stating otherwise. Why didn't Professor Oak know his neighbor's kid's name? In the show, he's friends with Ash's mom, so he would know, right? Or at least he should? Then he asked another thing. What's my grandson's name? Seriously? I think Professor Oak is more like Professor Alzheimer's. Why didn't you know his name? And you're gonna ask the neighborhood who you didn't remember the name of either? And you're just gonna trust whatever answer he gives you? I could literally make him Professor Oak and he'd be oh yes, my grandson's name is Professor Oak. Like, what in the actual... Whatever. Back to the games. I say they're nearly identical because everything happens at the same exact way in both versions. Same stories, same protagonist, same goal. The only difference is in Pokemon that spawn. You cannot catch all 151 on either version. The goal is to do that, but you can't unless you either have two Game Boys, both games, and a link cable. Yeah, that's right. They made us play an unbeatable game. So basically, what they have to do is finish as much of the Pokédex entries as you can possibly can on whatever version you're playing. Then find someone who had the other version, get them to trade out the Pokemon that neither of you could catch. For instance, Red has Growlithe, Blue has Vulpix. So the only way to get a Ninetales entry on Red is your friend has to trade it to you. There are some Pokemon that won't even evolve about being traded. Gengar, Alakazam, and Golem, all on a table without friends. So basically, if you're an only child and had just no friends that liked Pokemon, it was just frustrating. You're still going to play the game, but you're going to be salty in the end, especially once you talk to a man in Celadon City. He tells you to complete your Pokédex and come talk to him. Your Pokédex, most kids never got to know why. It lingers on your mind until you go through the whole rest of the game. What would he give you? A new HM? A new Pokemon? Is it Mew? No, it's not. No. It's a stupid diploma. You do all of that work for a high fives and thumbs up. What a wussy. You can get Mew through a glitch, however. See, Mew wasn't supposed to be a Pokemon at all, let alone in the game. One sneaky dev got him through. It requires not beating every trainer you come across, which takes discipline. You have to look it up on your own, though. This is a review, not a cheater's guide. The whole basis of the game is really easy to understand. Catch Pokemon and use them to gain fame and fortune by fighting them into an exhaustion against 8 gym leaders, 4 elite trainers, and a champion, countless NPCs, trainers, and a wild Pokemon. Yes, it sounds like a boost, and it feels like it too. Having a level 63 Nidoking die by a level 12 Weedle? Really? In the first game, there are 151 mods, and the creature typing is much less in depth. There are no Steel, Dark Fairy, or Dragon types in this game, so if you're used to newer, it's gonna be hard. Just get used to it. So you have Fire, Ice, Water, Electric, Psychic, Ghost, Rock, Ground, Poison, Grass, and Normal, Fighting, and Bug. Type of effectiveness is pretty much the same as it is today, minus some, so it's not too difficult to adjust. It's difficult though. I just forget from time to time. There are only 4 dragons, and one of them is even still not a dragon at all. Gyarados, a pseudo-dragon. Dratini, Dragonair, Dragonite. Ice is still super effective on them though. You get 3 ghosts, Gastly's, Hunter, and Gengar. Ghost is broken in this game, especially Hypnosis and Drain Eater. Also, Eevees, Ivies, and Shinies, and breeding are all non-existent. What's up? There's still a strategy to playing, but the move typing is not so in-depth. Basically, the rule they had was if it don't lower HP, then don't use it, which led, of course, to the abuse of moves Horn Drill, Earthquake, and Fissure. Horn Drill and Fissure are one-hit KOs. They just have super low accuracy rate, which is fair. There are 5 hidden machines, or HMs, in this game. Flash, cut, surf, strength, and fly. And only 50 TMs, or technical machines. I'm not listing them. I kind of rushed through my gameplay to make sure I had the content, so I missed a lot of items. But I do intend to play again and spend the proper 50 hours exploring and completing the decks. We don't have a physical Game Boy to play on, and if we did, I would have had to still, but we use our emulator along with an NES controller to imitate the feel of the buttons. My dad wanted to tie a shoe to the controller to simulate the weight of an old Nintendo cinder block, but I'm not about that life. I also didn't get to experience the joy of not having a backlight screen and trying to use streetlights to play at night on car rides. Kind of grateful for that. I would have done it though. This is a fantastic RPG game. There aren't many games that make me want to immediately start a new save file after beating them, but dude, Pokemon, am I right? The Kanto region has the 8 gym leaders that every kid from the 90s grew to know. Rocks in Pewter City, Mysteries in Cerulean, LT Sturgeon, Verillion, Sabrina and Saffron, Erica and Celadon, Koga and Fuchsia, Blaine and Cinnabar, and Giovanni and Viridian. They don't tell you about Geo at first. You have to defeat Team Rocket a handful of times throughout the game, and at the final battle with him as the Rocket leader, he quits his life of crime and goes back to being a gym leader. I don't know why the cops don't pull up on him, seeing how everybody knows where he is and the whole town celebrates his return. They know exactly where to find him. Maybe he has the cops on payroll. So, after you collected your gym badges and you head out to the Indigo Plateau, you have to make your way through a series of obstacles such as puzzles, mazes, and high-level Pokemon and trainers. They call this path Victory Road, which is kind of dope. The cave system houses one of the 3 legendary birds, Moltres. Find them and you can catch him to use in your flight to the top. Just make sure you save the game before you interact with them. There's nothing worse than trying to catch a legendary bird and the box you're using is full. Or you kill it, or you run. You only get that one chance. Zapdos can be found at the power plant east of Cerulean City, and Articuno is at Seafoam Islands. So, if you made it this far, kid, game's almost over. You got 4 people to beat before the victory. Elite Four 1, Lorelei, Ice-type Pokemon, easy clap. Elite Four 2, Bruno, fighting and rock type. Okay. Elite Four 3, Agatha, ghost type. Stupid Dream Eater! Elite 4, Lance the Dragon Tamer. His Dragonite level 62 is a bummer. Dragonite knowing Hyper Beam can be an issue. He's pretty tough if you don't know about him. I did it! I beat the Elite Four! Wait, there's more? One last battle against the current champion. It's Gary, or Blue, or Poop Shoot, or Professor Oak! Whatever, he's rough. Sporting the same Pokemon he has all game is pretty easy to know what he's gonna have. That's not enough though. Gary plays like a player. Does, well, ish. Knock his team out and get to see yours in the Hall of Fame. Last thing to do though, reset after you get the ending screen and you spawn at Pallet Town. Fly to Cerulean, enter the Championships Cave is where you can find the world's most powerful Pokemon, Mewtwo. This is where most people use their Master Ball unless you know about the Infinity Glitch. Then you have 200 Master Balls. But doing this glitch requires you to kill a non-existent Pokemon, and its name is Missing No. Kill it to activate the glitch, but be worried, don't catch it unless you're ready for weirdness. It's a line of broken code, and it behaves as such. If it levels up, it goes to 0 most of the time. It will mess your game up just like a Game Genie will. It's not worth catching it at all. Once it's caught, releasing it won't do anything. The only thing left after Mewtwo is to level up your Mons and try to fill your Pokédex. For us on the emulator, we have to run 2 games at once and play both, and it's a nightmare. We're still gonna play it though. I've already conquered the Gen 2 games, so I can't wait to play Gen 3 and see what's all changed. I heard they swapped the bikes out for shoes, and they have 2 different bikes. I don't know. I'm just gonna be playing these for a while. I think 10 out of 10 would recommend. I got some Pokemans to catch, and I gotta go. See you guys next time.